I review a lot of cars. I review cars that I have absolutely no intention of owning, and I review cars that I would like to own at some point in the future. The Subaru WRX belongs to the latter group, so I was quite excited to test drive it. The WRX is the second fastest car that Subaru makes, next to the STI. It has almost 270 horses under the hood, and it can do 0 to 100 kph in approximately 5 seconds. This is the 5th generation of the WRX. It's been around since 2014, and it's probably nearing the end of its life cycle. Unlike the previous generation, the WRX is now only offered as a 4-door sedan. They have ditched the hatchback. This model right here is the CVT variant, and I know for performance enthusiasts, it is not the most ideal transmission type, but Subaru tweaked it with performance in mind. This latest model comes with EyeSight, which is Subaru's suite of active safety features. So it has lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, front and rear cross traffic alert, etc. Exterior. The car looks pretty aggressive. It has this massive hood scoop which feeds the top-mounted intercooler. It has LED projector headlamps with daytime running lights. It has wide fenders. It has air vents on the front fenders. And this is a real vent, it's not just there for show. It has 18-inch wheels wrapped in Dunlop Sportmax 245/40 series tires. These side skirts extend quite a bit outwards, and they look good, but they make getting in and out of the car a bit tricky. Eventually, you're gonna scratch these side skirts just by getting in and out of the car because you're gonna hit them for sure. At the back, it has a diffuser and quad exhaust tips. Overall, the car looks special enough to turn heads, but because it's a 4-door, it doesn't look as sporty as its smaller cousin, the BRZ. The WRX is powered by Subaru's F20 engine, which is the same engine that powers the BRZ. The WRX, though, is turbocharged, so it produces a lot more power. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder boxer engine. It produces 268 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 350 Nm of torque at 2,000 RPM. For comparison, the STI has a 2.5-liter engine and produces 300 horsepower. Like all Subarus, the WRX is all-wheel drive. It actively directs power to the wheels that have traction. Like mentioned before, this latest model of the WRX now comes with Subaru's EyeSight. It almost makes the car autonomous. You have adaptive cruise control. When this is enabled, the car will automatically slow down or speed up depending on traffic conditions. It has pedestrian cross-traffic alert, which will apply the brakes if it detects a pedestrian crossing your path. It also has lane keep assist, which doesn't just warn you if you're veering off your lane, it will actually steer the car for you. It also has pre-collision braking system. If you're about to hit an obstacle and you don't step on the brakes, the car will automatically apply the brakes for you. The interior of the WRX looks pretty simple and maybe even a bit dated. You don't have any swooping lines or weird shapes like on most other cars nowadays. You do have leather seats though. You have a leather wrapped steering wheel. You have carbon fiber accents. You have an 8-inch infotainment screen, but it doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and it only has single-zone climate control. One could say that the interior is pretty disappointing for a car that's worth almost 2 million pesos, but you don't buy a WRX for its luxury features, you buy it for its performance. The CVT of the WRX has a couple of different modes to suit your driving needs. One is intelligent mode. In intelligent mode, it acts like a normal automatic. Let's say you're accelerating and then you let go of the gas. The RPM will drop like it would on a normal automatic. In Sport Sharp mode, it sort of behaves like a manual, in the sense that it holds on to the gear ratio even after you let go of the gas. It will not upshift, and the RPM will not drop considerably. And you'll also get a lot of engine braking. In launch mode, the car will behave like a regular CVT. There will be no fake shifting. It will just stay in its power band, which is around 5,500 RPM.
Zigzag lang, sir.
Nag-seatbelt pa ka, Jeps?
Sir, seatbelt mo.
I had high expectations for the WRX CVT, and perhaps they were a bit too high. The CVT of the WRX is probably faster than a regular automatic, but it doesn't feel fast. The acceleration feels spongy. It doesn't give you the same feeling that a proper downshift does. Don't get me wrong, it still feels faster than your regular sedan. Definitely a lot faster than a Civic RS Turbo, but it feels compromised. If you're buying the car for its fun factor, then the manual is the way to go. The exhaust is also too quiet. Even at 4,500 RPM, I could barely hear it over the sound of the tires. But that's something that can be easily fixed with an aftermarket exhaust or a muffler delete. It has electric steering, which is light, perhaps too light for a sporty car. It also doesn't give a lot of feedback, but the steering ratio is pretty good. The Subaru WRX CVT is priced at 2,058,000 pesos. The manual is priced at 1,930,000 pesos. For a car with this much power and pedigree, I think it's actually a bargain. Considering that people buy the Civic RS Turbo for 1.6 million pesos, the WRX isn't that much of a stretch. From 1.6 to 2 million pesos. But is the WRX CVT worth it? I guess it depends on your lifestyle. If it's gonna be your daily driver, and you live in a city with heavy traffic, then I guess it is. At 2 million pesos or below, this is still the best performance car that you can get, even if it's a CVT. If it were up to me though, I'd get the manual, and then get a cheaper automatic for my daily commute.